Still haven't decided, they still haven't decided if we're in the rainy season here or not. Not today anyway. Okay, a bit of a change in views today. We're still up on the third floor, obviously, printing. If you've got headphones on, you might recognize that we are in stereo today for an experiment. And we've rearranged a whole bunch of cameras for this view. Not really sure what to do with the outside view here. Leave it there in that corner for a while. This has been instigated by preparation for the next YouTube video. I'm going to be making a video of making one of these prints, and in an attempt to try and get more hands-on view of this, I'm going to try this. It's a bit crowded, the screen. I don't know, what can I say. For the YouTube video, these bottom left things will be off. It'll be a view of the printing. But let's do it. But the thing is, the camera, which is hovering over my head here, it's right there, right here. The camera's upside down. I know this, when I look at the screen here, it's upside down from what I see. When I look down, I see the block first, and far away from me, I see the pigments. So I'm looking from here. I'm not wearing a mic right now. I have stereo, I have audio first. Audio. So what I'm going to do for the YouTube video, I think, is we'll do the YouTube videos without these two, and then I will take this video that you see now and I will flip it upside down. And I think that will give the YouTube viewers a sense of what I see when I look down. I see this on my left, I see the block, and I see the pigments. So I'm not sure. I'll handle that when I get to the YouTube video editing. But at the moment, I don't know. It's better for you if you turn it upside down or not. I don't know. So I tried in OBS and I could not find a way to flip it the other way around. I tried. I've got a fairly older version of OBS that works on my Mac here. I couldn't find a way. But if you're going to flip it upside down, it makes no sense with the insets here. So I don't know. Anyway. And the audio, what I've done is, instead of, my clip-on mic is sitting here, but it's not plugged in. I have taken the mics, the binaural mics that I used for the various outside videos, the pair of mics that fits in my left and right ears. I tried yesterday doing it with those mics on and plugged in, but they kept falling out as I moved. So what I did was I just hung them up. So the binaural mics are hanging up in front of me. Here we go. This is on my left. This is on my right. They're hanging in the air here above me. Anyway, enough talk. Let's make some prints. We have our 80 sheets of paper in front of me here in groups of 20, 20, 20, 20. And we're going to do one of the colors on the waterfall on this print. And some stuff is going to happen off camera. I just can't help it. I can't shoot absolutely everything here, not without 6 cameras. Okay, that will go here. Can you read? Where are we? Not that way around, this way around. How's your Japanese? Oh, the microphones are backwards, are they? Oh, well, I can fix that. I can switch them. But it depends which way around you're looking at the screen. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it for now. If you want to move your headphones around, you can just move your headphones. I'll leave this at the moment for now. That's too strong. Any other printers today? Not yet. Suga-san is due to come today, I think. Yeah, I took her paper out. Her dot was on the fridge. So Suga-san should be here today. Paste is a bit thick. Orientation here. Okay, let's give this a go. The last video, I had nothing to do with that. That last video was 100%, and I mean 100%, done by the staff. Cameron created it. I know about a year or so ago back, more than a year I guess, a bunch of the staff members got together with the idea that they wanted to do a bunch of videos about techniques and stuff. And they made a plan. They listed up, and it's over 100. They've listed up over 100 topics on the list that they want to do one by one by one. And that was they did an easy one first, that one with the Hakobi yesterday. The video that explained how to make our Hakobi brushes. And they've got 99 more planned, 99 more. Whatever you're asking about flipping the video, I don't think that's present in my version of OBS. I did search for it. This version is really, it's about 6 versions back, so I don't know. After the stream here, I'll check. I'm not going to play with it right now. But this is the second impression of the waterfall. Just a second, let me get organized. The waterfall is going to have 3 blues. At the moment, the first light blue is in place. And the one I'll be printing right now is a second darker blue to go on top of it. And later, there'll be another blue coming up from the bottom to give depth at the back of the waterfall. And junk paper here, junk paper for test. Not sure if it's deep enough, we'll see. Oh, talking about a couple of problems here. Okay, that might be about right in depth. Might be about right. Might be a bit too dark. But a couple of problems here. This block, one, I can't see where to put the paper in. There is a registration mark here. Can you see it? Difficult to notice. So what we're going to do, I can never understand why Suga-san and the gang don't do this. They've already printed this thing. Ishikawa-san did 80 copies on this block, Suga-san did 80 copies of this block, but to me it's sort of unprintable. We can't see where to put the paper. Maybe they're younger, I don't know. Now it's visible. What I did was I just took a black marker on top. The paper goes, of course, in the corner here and against the line. The other thing is, it's not cleared enough here. There's a sharp edge here. The carver who did this block cleared out the right distance, but left a sharp edge here. And absolutely, the print, you'll never see it here from that camera. But after I printed it, my baron touched a little bit here, and if I hold it up to the light, I can see a shadow here. And it'll be a mark. There will be a mark on the front of the paper. So this has got to come down. I have a knife here somewhere. What did I do? Here it is. Just the last edge. I think we're looking good. I think it's okay. Good balance. The print is not finished yet, anywhere near it. What's still to come are the mist areas have to be done. The color on the animals in the distance has to be done. The color on the animal up front. This cliff side is going to get a gradation on it, I think, to distinguish it from the cliff next to it. There'll be a gradation at the bottom where the animal is running. I think that's it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more impressions still to go. Questions. Oh, did I lean into it? I thought I was sitting far enough back. Okay, just a moment. I was testing this all day yesterday, getting ready for the YouTube, and I thought I had it positioned so my head wasn't in there, but maybe I forgot my rules here. I thought I was staying back. To show. Would the other printers clear away wood if they're not happy with it? It depends. The printers all they have 2 tools, or 2 or 3 tools next to them. They have their own kentonomi, the one I just used to do that job. They have a small little knife, and they usually keep a couple of small little gouges. And as you've seen, we've been talking about this when I show you some of the old printing blocks. There's gouge marks that are put on there by the printers sometimes. If you're a printer at home working and you don't have a carver next to you, then that's it. You either do it yourself. And to stop and send it back to the publisher is a big hold. It's a big hang-up. If the girls have a problem here, they just call me, of course. What about a lag? I don't know. No lag for me. I hear my voice. As soon as it comes out of my mouth, I can hear it. Seems okay for me. I don't know. Oh, that might be a change actually too. Soka soka. I set it to 1080 yesterday when I was testing for making a YouTube video. And it's probably still at 1080. Recently I've had it turned down to 720 because we were having trouble. So many people were having trouble. But today it's set to 1080. At my end. I'm sending 1080 to Twitch. I don't know what they're doing with it. But I'm sending up 1080 at 29.97 frames. So this end we're sending basic HD video here today. Source is 720 at 60. No, I can see it right in front of me here. It's 1080 at 29.97 is what supposedly I'm sending up here. It's what OBS is playing with here at the moment. Oh, HB Thingy is here. Ellen, hello. For those of you who don't know, the Twitch viewer here that says HB, I don't know what the HB stands for, HB Thingy. This is the lady who is uploading these streams onto the YouTube channel, the back-end YouTube channel. So if you've been making use of those, say thank you, say thank you. It's funny, Miss HB there, the other day we were looking through the folders. We were trying to update the website for the print parties and stuff like this. And we were looking through one of the folders on the computer here to try and find some pictures of a print party. And your picture came up. Picture of this lady doing her print party. This was, I don't know how many years ago. There's been a before and after request. Okay, yeah, good. Thank you. Okay, we've got it. There's a base tone in blue on the waterfall. With some, you can see like 3 white stripes carved out of it. And now we have a second blue on the waterfall. It's the same blue but deeper, and they overlap. Some are out and some are in from the previous one, and they overlap at the top to give it more of a mixed water effect. Hunting, printing and watching chat together is not a good idea, you know. Hunting, it's not a good idea. Yesterday I did 4 colors on this print, and there's no stream, just all day long. Computer's over there doing something else. It's so nice, such peaceful work. Just keep your head down and just relax. Chat with some people that come in a little bit, that's okay. Trying to do it this way and look up and look down and look up and look down. Do any hairs from the brush fall off and get imprinted in the print? Two steps, two questions there. Do they fall off? Yes, they fall off all the time. And in fact, let's have a look here. Okay, there's a curly white hair. That's not from the brush. Let's forget that. Here's one. There it is. Okay, there's a brush hair. They do come off all. There's a brush hair. They come off all the time. And what happens is they will come off as we are brushing, and usually I see it on the block, and as part of the last flick, flick, boom, 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 flick, flick, it goes down there. So brush hairs pile up here over time. If I fail to notice it, we then take the impression, and if there's a brush hair sitting on there, if I fail to notice it, and you pick it off, and you have a white line, because the brush, of course, that's where the pigment did get. You've got a white line impressed into the paper, and that print becomes no. They're pretty good. Now, we do maintenance on the brushes. They're not bad brushes to start with. On the shark skin, when you're rubbing them, that's when you lose a lot of hair. We wash them, they come out. At the end of each printing session, the brushes get washed, and usually that's when a bunch of the loose hairs come out. Same as with me, when I dry my hair after a shower. There's hair all over the floor. But it does come, they do come out bit by bit by bit. Are all the wood blocks exactly the same size? I'm not quite sure what the question is. We have a set of blocks here. We cut them all, of course, to the same size because they're going to fit the same print, and the areas on each block match the colors in the print. So I'm not quite sure of the question there. How often do the blocks need replacing? Any given block will do, generally, many, many thousands and thousands and thousands of prints. Many, many thousands of prints. The wear on a block doesn't come from this part, from the rubbing. The wear on a block comes from brushing the pigment out. It's abrasive on the wood. Which is your shop? Soka. Well, we can't see my shop. We are shooting from my shop. Google Earth, not Google Earth, Google, what's it called? Google Street View. Google Street View has a number of views of our shop going back 5 or 6 or 7 years. So if you punched in our address, street address, you can catch the building on Google Street View. At least the bottom part of it. They don't shoot up to the top, I don't think. There's new people here, I guess. What we're doing one color on a multicolored woodblock print. There were 80 sheets of paper in the deck, and all you're going to see this morning, I'm sorry, it's very repetitive, all you're going to see is the same thing repeated 80 times, if I get that far during the time of the stream today. There are 15 impressions all over. I've got a list of 15 impressions on this print, and how many are done now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, this is halfway. This is number 8 of 15. We're halfway through. As I mentioned yesterday, I got 4 colors done, so I went through the whole stack of 80 sheets. I went through 4 times with 4 different blocks and 4 different bowls of pigment. Do I reprint the key at the end? No, 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 no. The key came first. This is an interesting point. Lots of people get confused about this because it seems like the colors would cover up the key lines. We print the key block first. It looks something like a one color, but it looks something like this. It's basically the outlines. That goes first, and then, well, you can see it here. The colors then go on, but the colors don't blot out the key lines. The key lines stay all the way to the end because the colors are mostly transparent. And we need those key lines there as a guide, absolutely. The paper gets too wet or too dry, it shrinks, registration starts to not match up. We need the key lines there to keep me honest, to keep everything lining up. And I should be remembering to check a bit more carefully, because if it was wandering, you'd have the blue going into the wrong place. It sure doesn't need much pigment. I'm telling you, it sure doesn't need much pigment. So what I should do, just to show what's going on here then, is I should just take a piece of blank paper. Hang on a sec. I'm going to bang the microphone, sorry. Take a piece of blank paper. Let's print the next one blank, just so you can see what's going on. That's today's impression. Today's impression, this impression. It seems he's a light. No, 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 no. That's not at all. I know that really confused me back at the beginning when I was learning this. That really, really confused me. If you're printing, for example, a medium blue like this, or a deeper yellow like that, or a very faint misty color, the depth of color, the depth in the finished print is nothing to do with the pressure you apply. If you're going to get a deeper, rich color, it changes here. This thing, instead of being light and watery, would be thicker and more juicy. So more pigment goes on. You brush it out exactly the same way, making sure it's smooth. Then the pressure with the rubbing tool, even if it's a delicate light color, you still fully press it into the paper. So this tool doesn't know if it's a light color or a dark color or a deep color or a gradation. This tool has no idea. It doesn't care. Yes, it's the amount, it's the density. It's the density. The more tiny little blue particles that are in there, the deeper your color is going to be. Okay, this is number 20. This is the end of our first group of 4. It's 80 sheets today in 4 groups of 20. So we've got newspaper between the groups, moistened newspaper. It's going by so fast I can't see all this. I was chatting to my mother on Skype the other day, and she said the same thing, that recently the chat goes by so quickly. She's having trouble keeping up to it, just like me. I don't see my mother here today, I don't know. We're getting too popular, too many people here. Go away! Yeah, good. No, thanks. I know the mods are on this. It's thank you very much. Yeah. But myself, I want to sort of, be part of this, but I can't do that. So. This is so much fun. I'm so glad we started this a few years ago. I got a comment the other day, though, in the email, and it hit a little bit home because it's sort of true and sort of not true. And the comment, it was a friendly comment. He was really, this person, whatever, she, was really being friendly. Said, when I saw you start Twitch 3 or 4 years ago, I thought, okay, that's it. That's the end. There'll be no more nice YouTube videos from Dave. He's going to do the live streaming thing from now on. And I don't know what to say. My idea was, no, I want to do both. Twitch is for fun and for visual and blah, 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 but YouTube is for curated content. So, absolutely, I don't have any plans to quit YouTube at all, But having said that, the numbers of videos going out, like it's been, I think, 3 months now since the previous one. And I don't think it's because of Twitch. He said it's because of Twitch. You're focusing on Twitch now, and you're not caring so much about YouTube. And I myself don't think that's true. I don't know. I can't see myself so easily. I think that the reason for there's no YouTube video this week is because I am so busy. Freaking busy. We are insanely busy right now. I have plans for the next YouTube video, 2 or 3 of them actually. So, but then that was the feedback, and I don't know how true it is. I don't know. But there's certainly no intention whatsoever to ignore YouTube. That's vitally important, both for our own work, for our sales, and for the future. I think the YouTube stuff is it's sort of the legacy. I think prints are okay; they go out there, and a few thousand people own our prints. But the YouTube thing seems to be much more of a legacy that everybody can see and enjoy. Do I read the chat later? I try to. I don't every day. I'm sorry. I just don't get to it. The last one, whatever today's Saturday, Mondays, I haven't seen it. I try to look at it, and what happens is I sit down with my sandwich. I start looking at the chat. Sandwich is finished 5 minutes later, and that's it. I'm out of there. So I'm sorry. I try to. Oh, I didn't. So Tom 60's asked me this. It's funny. It's is it Tom 1060? Last week you sent my mother you sent me a PDF file, sent to my mother, and everything worked very well. It was fabulous. She wrote to you. The other day I saw this on the chat. It was Monday or a week ago or something. My mother was in there and she wrote in the chat very carefully. It must have taken her quite a long time to write it. She wrote thank you to you inside the chat. And then about, 1 or 2 little scroll-ups later, I saw you. You came in and you said, my computer's been down. I've been off for the last 10 minutes. Hope I haven't missed anything. I thought, she so carefully typed all that thank you note. I didn't have the heart to tell her. She might be here, yeah, so. I'll do what I want to do to make me happy. I want to make more YouTube videos. so. I'm doing heads and tails right now, Ernie San. They're all heads and tails as they are right now. How can I show you? Just one sec. You can't see it right here, but the previous one is heads up. This one is going heads down. And in the stack here, we have, you can see them, they are all heads and tails, because the last color I did last night, I think I worked on the ground last night, and it's really careful. The ground is so heavy at one end. If you don't do heads and tails, your stack gets really distorted. So yes sir, it is heads and tails. Not absolutely every time. In fact, this one I'm doing right now, because it's in the middle of the paper, heads and tails doesn't make any sense. And what I'm doing over here, I don't dare turn this camera. What I'm doing, they're going like this. So they're spread out and they're heads and tails to try and even the water balance. YouTube, yes, okay, we know what's happening. They sent me the email around a month ago saying that's it. From now on, we're going to run ads on your videos, even if you're not in the partner program, and no, you will not receive compensation. We got that link. It again came about 10 days ago warning us ads will start running on June 1st on your videos, and no, you will not receive compensation. So I went over there, I signed in, and I joined. Or I put an application in. This goes back about 10 days ago. I put an application in to YouTube. May I please join the YouTube Partner Program? And it said step 1 finished, and it said step 2, we will think about it. A human being will inspect your channel, and then we'll get back to you in a month or so to see if you're eligible for this. And then the next day, email came saying, yeah, you're in. So we are now in the YouTube Partner Program. And the message from them said, good, you can now get started, monetize your videos. So I quickly went over there, and automatically, as a default, they were all turned off. So monetization at the moment, we are a partner, and monetization is turned off for all the videos. What's going to happen 3 days from now on June the 1st, 2 days from now on June the 1st, 3 days from now, I don't know. Are they going to automatically switch them on? Can I switch them off? Is it going to be possible to switch them off? Stand by? I don't know. Whole thing, they had a huge list. I didn't even start to read it. Here's all the ways you can monetize your channel. Front roll ads, back roll ads, ads in the middle, boxes. They have a thing called a merch shelf. You can now connect a merch shelf to your YouTube videos. Sell merch. If there's one word in this world I hate, my God, it's that word. The guy who came to do our documentary video a few years back, that's all history now, but the guy who made the doc about us, he says, you gotta merch, that's how you make a living in this business, merch. And Patreon, they keep sending me ads and emails, how to merch. Hypocrisy coming from the guy who has his whole job is making merch. I don't know. I don't see this as merch. I see this as our goal. If it was a t-shirt or something, that would be merch, right? I don't know. Am I being hypocritical? We sell stuff. Of course we sell stuff. To me, the selling stuff we do, the example, it's the bakery. I go to the bakery, give the guy 50 yen, he gives me a piece of bread, I eat it, we're both happy. That's not merch to show. That's an exchange of exchange of value of labor. I don't know. Should we make t-shirts? Please don't get me started with that. Please, no. Moko Hankan t-shirts. The Baron logo? I don't know. It makes a nice target. I don't know. I would think that if you saw that coming from Okohankan, a merch shelf with the coffee mugs or T-shirts, I think if I was a viewer and saw that, I'd think, oh, Dave's in trouble. So Gus, okay, he's now scraping the bottom of this barrel. I don't know. Jed does fine with his T-shirts. That's part of what he does. It's the value he brings to society. He draws a nice image, puts it in a T-shirt. People like wearing it. So for Jed, that's not merch to show. That's what he creates. I don't know. It's probably hypocrisy top to bottom here. Sorry. I think mostly what bugs me is that word and the way people use it. You're now a member. Time to merch. As if like it's a verb. Stick the Great Wave on a T-shirt. I think it's been done. Uniqlo now, I think they're up and running around the corner. I came by last night on the way home from the 7-Eleven there. And this is about 9 o'clock or so. And it was lights and searchlights and crowds and stuff. Maybe it was the media opening, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't hang around. But it was bright. And it's like you got to hide your eyes as you go by at nighttime because there's so many bright lights. Probably 1.5 power stations are running that place. I don't know. Incredible. Those guys do not fool around. What we should do with the merch and the T-shirts and the coffee cups is, because we don't want to roll this ourselves, if there is demand, there's all these places where you can, it's like print on demand, right? Or coffee cup on demand or whatever. And you send them a Photoshop file and they'll send you a coffee cup or something. What we should do is, if there is demand for this, then we should just prepare some image files or whatever it is they need. We could prepare the coffee cup thing and just put it in the website for downloading. And if you want a Mokohankan coffee cup, download the image here, go over to the coffeecup.com website or whatever it is, and buy your own from them, you know. So if people wanted the stuff, but we didn't want to trivialize our work, I don't know. That might be doable. The Bob Ross mug. It's downstairs on my desk downstairs, and I used it once to try it out, but it's such a sad thing. It's not practical for a woodblock carver. Maybe in some, I don't know how you drink coffee, whatever. I don't know. For me, when I drink coffee when I'm working, what I do is, we've got a little coffee machine, the one we used to use in the print party room. And when we served coffee in the print party room, there's no problem. You put your capsule in, put the cup under, hit the button, get your cup of coffee, and in the 3 or 4 or 5 minutes we drank our coffee, then it was back to work. Dave here working, either printing or whatever, we don't usually have drinks around when we're printing, but when I'm carving, there's room for a coffee. But in that case, I want that coffee to last like an hour or so. So the Bob Ross mug, of course, it's great, cool, put your coffee, it looks like Bob Ross, and then 30 seconds later it's stone cold, because the cup is so heavy and hard and ceramic and big top and all that stuff. So it's not something I can use actually on a daily basis. It was very much fun to see it, and it was a good laugh. But I can't see it. The cup I have, and again, it's not here because this is my printing room. The cup downstairs on my carving bench, it's a thermal cup with a cap. So I go to the coffee machine in the old party room there, fire up my coffee, and it will last me, well over a half an hour or whatever, And actually we have though, now that I think about it, there is another option and we have them here. There's one just over here. Ishikawa-san was using it a couple of weeks ago. There's those little electric stands. It's a little, tiny little hot plate. It sits on your desk, you plug it in, and your coffee mug sits on this thing. And that Bob Ross coffee mug would just sit on this thing. You can sit there and drink it. And we don't use it for coffee, we use it for glue. When she's printing with a metallic pigment or something, or they did it when they printed with Golfun, the woman with umbrella print she made a couple of weeks ago. She needed to keep a pot of warm glue, so we use a coffee warmer. She puts the glue inside one of our little normal, cups, puts it on the coffee warmer, turns it to medium, whatever's necessary, and away she goes. So I could do that down on my carving bench. I could use the Bob Ross cup with a little miniature hot plate to keep it warm. They're a thing. What are they called? Coffee warmer? Just Amazon type. I think they're called coffee warmers. I don't know. Coffee warming plate, coffee mug, hot plate. I don't know. They are a thing. They're not expensive. They draw a tiny bit of power. Coloring books. There was a coloring book with a Kickstarter campaign. We have a coloring book in our catalog now as part of our normal product list. If you go to the Mokuhankan catalog, the web page, and look in the miscellaneous section, there's a coloring book there. Crack the window here. It's getting hot. It's getting hot, getting hot. Coffee warmers with USB plugs. Yeah. Good. What's for show and tell today? Already? What time is it? No, we're okay. We have a show and tell. It's the one... I broke my rule and we got this, and I trust the guy, so I clicked already on the button that says we received it, even though I haven't opened it. Maybe it's a box of rocks. It's actually going to be a bit too big. Maybe we'll... I didn't think that far in advance. Whatever. We'll sort that out when we get to it. The other thing about today's show and tell too is it's post-war stuff, and some of it is in multiple copies, which means I'm going to look through, pick the best ones for myself for the collection, and the rest is going to go into the Mokuhankan shop, the online shop. Oh, there's the air conditioner across. The shop gets the trash prints. If there are any trash prints in there, the shop won't be getting those, believe me. But I'm being honest, the absolute super best prime copies, if there's a difference, they're just probably, they're multiple prints from a workshop, so they're probably going to be exactly the same. But I'm going to carefully check. Should I turn off the outside mic? What? There's the air conditioner going down. On and off, on and off, on and off. It starts in the middle of May and it runs until November. All night long. All night long. Ask some hooligans to sabotage it. I didn't think about hooligans. I thought about doing it myself. It's not possible. It's an 8-9-story building, and the air conditioning is inside the building on about the 5th floor up. So it's scaling a 5-story concrete wall, and the air conditioning stuff's inside it, and it's covered by a little screen so you can't see it, but the sound pours out and it waves over the whole district. Sitting in summer, I go over to Sensoji Temple sometimes, sit on the steps there, the lights are all out just before coming home to go back to bed, and it runs the whole district. You need a bazooka, a military bazooka to sabotage it. You have a grappling hook. You go for it. Next time you're over in Japan, tell you what, you go for it. I'll pay your lunch money. For people who are just joining, we're going to do before and after. Here's the image we're making right now. Oops, for you. It's not finished. We're about halfway through. There are 15 impressions. 7 are already done. You can sort of see them. There's a base tone, a gradation, a green, an orange, blah, blah, blah. 7 are done. We're doing today one more on the waterfall. The waterfall is getting its second coat here. And this brings us halfway. This is impression 8 out of a total of 15 on this print. It's a few more days' work for me to get this done. Now the waterfall is deeper, richer, more scattered water inside. There's one more impression still to come on the waterfall. It'll be darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. And this is print number 40. Have I been keeping track? No, but this is the last one in this group, so. Someone's asking why are there fibers? I haven't trimmed the sheets yet. The sheets, before they go out later, the staff will be trimming off the top end. The sheets will be nicely cut. I miss my own workshop over in Ome. I've got my printing bench in the alcove, and right above my head, I can't stand up, it's in an alcove. Right above my head, there's a bar. I bolted a heavy bar to the wall in my workshop in Ome. So just about at this point, after doing this for almost an hour or whatever, I grab that bar, and I don't know what they're called, just whatever, haul myself up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. 3, 4, 5 minutes, and that takes care of it. Yesterday, 4 colors yesterday. Not sure how many today. I have to do sizing this afternoon. Today it's going to be soup. It's a soup day today. Graphite is conductive, 100% conductive. That's how you make electrotypes. There's a loose brush here somewhere here, keeps popping back up. Be gone, be gone, be gone. Maybe we're going to get a demonstration of that brush here in the print, who knows? I don't see it, it's around there somewhere. It's softwood, and this is this is the third batch. So the girls make 80 copies, another 80 copies. I'm making 80 copies, and the wood really is softer than it should be. So with the repeated pressure, some of the places the wood that starts to, it's not expanding, but it's you know, it's expanding, I guess. You know, the wood is just sliding outwards a little bit. If you're not careful here and there, I don't know if we can see it. Get my finger. I don't really know if it's going to be visible. The blue. Point at it. The blue's starting to come up. Can you see it? You can see it there, show. The blue is starting to come out into the cloud. This is the dangerous thing about doing this stream and talking and talking and talking and stuff, is that it's you know, my job as a printer, pigment, paste, rub, print, look at it, clear, even, nothing coming out, nothing, you know, I check every one, each one and every one. I bet now if I go back now and look through, this has been coming for the past, you know, dozen prints or so. It is, it's there, you know. I didn't cut enough off to make it as a gap. I just shaved off the very, 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 very edge of that thing. And we're not talking about the whole block moving and shrinking. We're talking about some of those edge corners just getting a bit too much pressure. Will that go to the trash? No. No. There isn't anybody on this planet other than, you know, us printers who would have noticed that. So no, that's not going in the trash. It's my job to catch it now before it gets to the level where someone like you would notice it. Whatever. So, not to be sarcastic about it, but whatever. Oh, I hear the sound. The delivery guy must be downstairs. I hear the sound of his brakes. Ka-chunk. What are we expecting today? Yeah, there's some deliveries today, I think. Loose hair. These will go to the least loved subscribers. Is that so? Is that so? By whose definition? So, actually, that's funny, you know. The ladies in our shipping center in Ome, they are so Japanese, you know. Honestly, they are so Japanese. They are so Japanese. I still get surprised, you know. I've been here now, whatever, 40 years. I don't even know. What is it? 1986 we came or something, whatever. And I still get surprised, you know. I still get surprised. This isn't recent. This is a couple of years back. I'm in Ome. I've brought with me a batch of prints that have been made from here. They're mostly okay. It's bell curve stuff. The prints are mostly okay. One or two, like you just saw, the little one there with a tiny bit of blue. No one's going to see that. And then another one, whatever, perfect. And I was in Ome, and when I gave her the set of prints, I made what turns out to be a real mistake. I didn't think it was a mistake. I had recently had some contact with one of the subscribers. I don't even remember who it was at this point now. But so Mr. X, whatever. And I'd said, here's the batch of prints. By the way, look, this top one here, this is really, really nice. Make sure this goes to Mr. X. And she looks at me and says, why? I said, well, I owe him a chocolate egg or something right now. I owe him a little bit of a favor. This one's a really nice one. And she said, aren't they all okay? I said, yeah, they're all okay. I know they're okay. But just look, just this one here, just make sure this gets to Mr. X. And she rebelled. You can't do that. You can't choose favorites among your customers. No. And I'm like, well, I'm not quite ready to fight about this, but yeah, and her point was that people like us should not in any way show favoritism. We shouldn't, like, there's a bad one. Oh, that's the guy who complained last month, so let's give him one of these or something like this. Her built-in, not a theory, her built-in way of thinking was that no, people like us cannot choose from this group of subscribers. I like this guy, I don't like this guy, I like this guy. And then give him a nice one and give him another one. And she refused to do that. Like, okay, this is not a hill I want to die on. I've approved these prints. They are all, you know, they're all approved by Dave. They're all okay. You know, I'm not like backing away. It's okay, whatever. I can't disagree with her. She's actually, I guess, she's right. But I didn't think that what I said was wrong. I don't know, you guys are Westerners mostly here, so you're probably going to think my side, admire her for what she said as an ideal, but it wasn't wrong for me to say, Mr. A should, you know, he did something to help me, let me just, you know, do this, you know. She's correct, and I think I'm also correct, but she wouldn't do that, absolutely. And she may, I don't even know, once my back was turned, she like put that to the bottom or something, I don't know. You're surprised? I'm surprised. Well, I'm not sure what to say. You know, I'll stand by my point. I don't think that what I asked for was wrong, even though her viewpoint may be she believes this. I'm still the boss, and she can say, okay, Dave, all right, in this case, I know I don't want to do that as a normal course, but because you asked for this, okay. I think that would have been a legitimate response on her part. She could have told me, look, we don't normally do this way, and please don't make this a habit, or something like this. But I think she should have gone along with me on that, I think. I mean, we're both correct here. You know, I did approve them all. If she says, if the other, yeah, should I throw away the others, or something like that, would have been an acceptable response, I guess, you know. Whatever, we're both correct. You know, I'm going to, that last print I showed you with a tiny bit of blue, I'm going to approve that. It's going to go through. It's not perfect, but to me, that's well within the parameters of what we are building here. If all the prints had that kind of thing all over them, no, we wouldn't be working to that level. But for me to see that and catch it after half a dozen prints, I'm going to live with that one. I'm okay on that. There is a practical level here that we have to keep in mind. There's theory and there's practice, you know. Actually, that's an interesting point there. Somebody is saying this. To be Japanese is to be the yes man to her boss, and absolutely so. I would theorize that in a corporate structure, she would just say yes. She wouldn't even talk back to him because it's just trouble. And in her mind, it's that she can't control that. From upstairs, there's been a request, just do it, pass it on. I'm guessing that in a generic corporate structure, she would have just done what she was told. And that's something that we're okay with here, because we're not. I can't say we're a family. That's not right. We're a team. And there's enough, comfortableness here that she can do that. She can say no to me. And she knows she's not going to get fired or something, of course. So I'm happy about that she was able to express her opinion. That's a good thing, obviously. Where are we here? Oh, it's show and tell time, but just a second here. I've got 4 sheets left. I'm going to finish these 4 sheets. Just you hang on. If we have to go 4 minutes extra, we're going to go 4 minutes extra. Let me just finish this batch. Common sense. Watch Dave rush now and destroy 4 prints. Did I carve the wood myself? Not on this one. I am one of the carvers here. I didn't carve this one. This is a double job. The key block for this one was carved by Kawasaki-san, Kawasaki Noriko, our young carver who lives in Kobe. And the color blocks were carved by our young new friend Taran-san. He won't be here today, I don't think, because he's busy working right now, carving. He might be listening in, but he's busy working. And if you are listening, Taran-san, no rush. Don't force it, don't rush it, don't rub. Just do your normal job at a normal pace. We don't have a printer that we can do anything with those this week anyway. So just work at a normal pace, Taran-san, if you are listening. I can't schedule this for printing until at least next week. So take your time. Is Kawai-san still printing? Yes, he is. In fact, he's going to be, the blocks that Taran-san is carving right now will be going to Kawai-san about a week from now. Okay, there we go. That's 20, 40, 60. Let's take a break. Show and tell. Taran-san, he's probably listening here as he's carving. He's so similar to me. He would have just heard my words. Dave says, it's okay, we got 1 week, don't worry about it. He still wants to get them on my desk tomorrow. I want to do it right now. It's not an insult to say I can see so much of myself in some of these other people that are coming. So, okay, how are we going to do this now? Okay, we have to, it's going to be upside down, isn't it? So how are we going to do this? Let me think about this for a second. First, outside camera, see a bit later. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Let me zoom out. Maybe if I tip the angle here. Whatever, there's not going to be a whole lot. Let's just fly with this. Let's just fly. See what we can do. Well, you're saying you can turn the image. I tried before the stream went on today. I looked through the settings in OBS and tried to find a place that would flip the video, and I couldn't find it. As we've heard earlier in the stream, no, I'm not using OSB Studio. I'm using OSB, an old version for a Mac. OSB Studio doesn't run on my computer. And there's not even an about window for this. OSB doesn't even tell me what version it is, so I'm sorry. Don't sweat it, we're just looking at some prints. I'll hold them upside down, doesn't matter. When do I get my new machine? I don't know, ask Steve Jobs or still cook. Chip cook. Okay, as I mentioned, what we have here in today, these are two packages. They're from two separate auctions. Last week on Yahoo, and a couple of people bid, but nobody else really went up on it. And I was quite surprised because these are woodblock prints, and there's a large quantity of woodblock prints. They're made mostly, I believe, by the Isetatsu company. Isetatsu is still alive, and they are a company that made what's called Chiogami. We've talked about these before. These are the decorative paper sheets. It doesn't matter if it's upside down today. It doesn't matter if it's upside down. So the part about the next computer is my next laptop. I presume it's going to be an M1 or an M2 chip. It's going to really burn and we won't be hearing fan noise or whatever. Okay, we have here a ton of woodblock printed Chiogami sheets. I don't actually really know all of what's in here. I do know that there are multiple copies, as we mentioned before. These are post-war. This will be 1960s or so. These are not the early pre-war ones. And everything you're seeing here, we can zoom in a bit then on this. These are actually hand-carved, hand-printed, woodblock prints. Get my mug out of here, I think, just a sec. Let's just explore and see what's in here. Some of them are going to be really simple. Some of them are going to be more complicated. These are not gorgeous 100%, somebody's talking about 100% kozo or whatever. These are going to be a mix. This will be, this is basically Japanese washi, but it is not going to be very expensive washi, because these were consumable objects. These weren't prints to be purchased and then hung up on the wall. They were prints to be cut out and pasted on boxes and to be made with dolls. And they weren't stenciled. You can see there's barren marks. These are carved on wood, and these are rubbed with a barren, so that the actual printing of the thing you're seeing here is done exactly the same way as the print you just saw. Let me just, we can spend all day, so let me just get through this pile here and have a look at some of these patterns. Look at this, two copies of this one. Oh, it looks like one of those. Look at this, if I slide it sideways, how's your 3D? I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm seeing a great effect of this side. It goes green. Oh, did Cameron put those on Instagram? Okay, what the ones on Instagram are this is Mitamura-san. He is a printer here in Tokyo. His father was one of the main printers on these kinds of things. And he's got a bunch of the old blocks. So we've got some of them now in our web shop from Mitamura-san. Now those are contemporary printings of the old blocks. We have a price. Where's the camera? $150. So this is nowhere near pre-war. These are post-war. This will be 1960 or so. 150 yen. I'd have to look it up, but my off-the-cuff guess is maybe by a factor of 10. 20 maybe. I don't know. And this is not delicate ukiyo-e. I mean, look at this stuff. It's decorative papers. But everything you see here again is carved and printed, carved and printed. And the registration is not the kind of registration we were talking about just now. If we get a bit closer here, you kind of point stuff out. I mean, you don't need me to point it out. You can see here, look, the blue line here, the red. I mean, this is not delicate ukiyo-e high quality artwork. It is handmade and hand printed, as you can see. It's sort of blingy. It's loud and whatever, and it's for decoration. Chop it up, put it on your box, whatever. This is a very classic pattern. It's a shibori zome pattern, and this one is not printed very well at all. Look at this. Not printed well at all. Very careless printer. Oh, interesting. 1/3 of the price. Not just a little bit different price, but 1/3. Okay, I see. Okay, you get a hint here then. 50 yen, 150 yen. How many colors? How much printing time? How many blocks? 3 times 50 yen and 150 yen. 3 times the price. It's so much work. Look at the back side of this. How much work. You've seen me print the show. Rubbing this way, push. How would you like that for your job every day? And also, if you knew that it didn't matter about the registration, this is not the kind of job I would want at all. Absolutely at all. I don't mind the repetition in my job because there's a meaning there. You know, we're trying to do something really nicely. But to be a robot when it doesn't even matter, printed poorly, who cares? No thanks. You know, this was a Joe job. Look at that pigment. Might be of interest here. Look at this. Let me zoom out a little bit first, just a second. Let's see it. Okay. Do you see these 2 places here? This one. There's a white, what looks like a notch at the end there. What's this? That's the registration mark that matches with the corner registration mark. They don't want to waste any paper. So the print I just made, the one you saw me making, the registration mark is located, we've got a good 9 millimeters. The registration mark is here, and the image then starts about 9 millimeters inside. So we end up with a sort of a frame defect on our print. These things, no. There's no purpose whatsoever for leaving an empty white framed area. People want pattern. This is not a picture that's going up on the wall. So the registration mark and the color are right together. So this corner went in the registration mark. Bang! And the carved area was right up to the corner. And the same thing here, but you can't quite get it. You've got to cut the registration mark. So that little glitch in the purple there is where the printer's thumb, he put it there into the registration mark. They don't care about borders and margins. And all ukiyo-e prints, old ukiyo-e prints from the pre-modern era, from the old Edo time and coming into Meiji, they were made this way. Nobody was displaying prints. Nobody had the concept of margins. The pictures come right to the edge of the paper. Paper's expensive, no reason to waste it. Okay, is this the same block, different color? I think it is. Yes. It's the same block, version A, version B. And in fact, you can look at this. The black one isn't pure black. It's got mud in it. It looks a bit greenish to me. So they will use the same block, purple, red, green, you name it. Like can we see in the back some printing marks, because this is rough, fast work. You can see them. The print I just made, actually, the print I'm making now, we should be able to see, here, we can probably see some printing marks on the back of it. The symbols in general, we're looking at rich. We've got Mount Fuji, we've got the treasure ship, we've got the 3 sake cups. What have we got here? Oh, the magic hammer from no, Daikoku. We have a bale of rice signifying lots of money. Some I don't know, 3 shamisen plectrums, no idea. Coral, symbolizing money. This is the mochi, the rabbit in the moon making his mochi. I don't know them all, of course. Interesting, yeah, there's no repeated patterns. It's new ones all across. The scrolls symbolizing learning. Anyway, let's move on. There is a mountain of this stuff. It just goes on and on and on and on. I was very, very, very happy to get this. This will really go nice in our collection. It wasn't wrapping paper. Nobody would have bought this paper and wrapped something with it. It was used more of a decorative paper. What's the current word? Decoupage, I think is the word. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There are 1,000 copies of this one. That's funny, eh? Look at this. Not so interesting design, and this is the one that's the most copies left. What's the design? It's a village, stream, pine trees, shrine gate. Black though. I think it's black. That would be why. You tell me. Your guess is as good as mine. Tough to print though, black, you know. Tough to print. So coming soon to a woodblock shop near you. We're going to keep I'll keep a few copies of this, and the rest will go in the shop. There's no archive of value for me to keep 50 copies myself. If we saw differences or something that would be worth studying on the blocks, that's fine. I'll keep, for example, the 2 we just saw where there were different colors. We'll keep those in the collection because that's worth showing the concept. But it's not. There's no reason for me to try and keep 20 copies of the same thing. So we'll keep 2 or 3, and the rest will go into the shop. You too can make your own Japanese doll with black kimono. This one too, 5 copies. The paper is toned too. Yeah, look at this. This is something else different. It's white paper, normal white paper, but this one, before they did the printing, they toned the entire sheet of paper with a brush, yellow. So this is a yellow background. It won't be printed. It's brushed on with a brush, and then a green and a brown printing. Cherry blossoms. I wonder how long it took to get to do each one. I wonder. It's hard work, you know. Bang, 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 bang. You saw me do my printing just now in a few seconds for each one. But it's a different story for something this wide, you know. Very different story. These lines are brush lines from the pigment going on. The guy would swirl out the pigment, then finally at the very end of it, he would brush on the block with his brush. Then these swirly lines you see here, these are the lines from the printer's tool who is rubbing semi-randomly over the back. So the vertical lines from your point of view there are brush strokes. The swirly lines are from the printing tool. This would be one impression, yes, absolutely. I don't know if I could do it in one impression this deep, but they would have been done in one. Paper softened just right, tons of pigment on the block, way more pigment than what you saw me use. As I said, much denser, beginning of the stream we talked about this, much denser pigment in the bowl than what you just saw me do. This again, I don't know the name of this thing. This is the tool, one of the tools for making mochi. I don't know the name of the thing. It's a kind of persuader. Again, yellow first on the paper with the brush. The yellow is not printed, the yellow is painted, dyeing the paper, and then a one color wood block on top of it. Actually, I said these were all from Isetatsu. That's wrong. I'm sorry. I saw the auction. I think it's the other box that is from Isetatsu. This is from another different company. I'm sorry. Takaracho Chiyogami. Takaracho. I know treasure town Chiyogami. And Chiyogami is the name of the stuff we are making. And then the name of the color. It's autumn foliage in vermilion color. So they would have probably printed this in many colors. They would have the same one. Autumn foliage green, autumn foliage red, and vermilion. And they've got their mark. We are claiming copyright on this. Please do not copy. Please do not reproduce this. This is not woodblock. This is not woodblock. This is oil-based print. These last few here, we've run out of woodblock. Gee, I'm glad I didn't start on the top of the deck. I would have been really disappointed. No. This last group is printed with some kind of press. It's oil-based ink. It may have been actually a piece of wood. So we may be half and half. It may be a carved block. My guess is the oil-based ink rolled on, and then bang, she goes through a press. This is not woodblock. Same thing. There's no barren marks. It could be carved, but it's certainly not printed by hand. Okay, a nice little find. I know it cost me enough, but whatever. We'll share the cost. I will keep some of them for the collection, and if I get lucky, I can put enough of them into the shop to pay me back for what we paid for these, and I might actually break even. Well, there's a few more. I missed some. Yeah, back to the woodblock work. It finished off with a couple of woodblock copies. This is lame. Come on, is that the best you can do? Kind of lame. Anyway, there we are. There we have it. There we have it. There we have it. Just a little bit of nothing. Another example, like we're trying to show all the time, of how common the Japanese woodblock technique was in many, many aspects of this society, up until the printing presses blew it all away. So, and yeah, somebody's mentioning apprentices, whatever. Yeah, this kind of work, if there was a market for it, would be exactly the kind of stuff that a young carver or a young printer could do. It's kind of difficult to do for a beginner printer. You'd have to share the work. There's no way the beginner printer could do these deep, rich backgrounds. The smaller things in the middle maybe so, and if there was a bit of misregistration, it wouldn't matter. So yeah, if a workshop had lots of different kinds of work, top ukiyo-e work, shiogami work, seishafta fuda, then yeah, you could have a workshop where people could learn how to do this. It's kind of our goal, bit by bit by bit. Okay, this package is a small package. The other package is way thicker, but I think it's way thicker because mostly it's probably just 3 or 4 designs, and there's like 50 copies of each one in there. So we're not going to bother with that one right now. Okay, that's it for today. Today is Saturday. I'll be back here 2 more days with another wonderful vaccination lottery stream. Give me a break. Japan is now hovering around 3% of the population vaccinated, and I would like to get into that 3%. Whatever. Okay, thanks for watching. I am out of here. Let's put up the outside camera again, just for a minute before we leave. See how the street is waking up. 2 guys standing on the corner looking at their phones. This smells like Pokemon Go. Is there a new Pokemon character? Sometimes, every now and then, every few months, I'll be out there and there will be like 50 people, all in a gaggle, all spread around the whole corner here. Because there's a couple of different, what do they call them? Pokestops. And seeing here this morning makes me wonder, maybe today is one of those days when new Pokemon are coming here. I don't know. I'll be watching. Okay, signing off. Thanks so much. I'll be back here in 2 more days. Monday morning. Bye for now.